All right, good evening. We're reconvening after closed session. Can we please have roll call?
Trustee Hodges.
Present.
Trustee Flores.
Present.
Trustee Young is absent. Vice President Amboy.
Present.
President Fox.
Present.
Trustee Jacobo.
Present.
Trustee Baroge is absent. Trustee De Leon.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, Pledge of Allegiance. Actions taken in closed session. For our first 3A for employee discipline. Can we please get a motion to approve the agreement? Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve item 3A.
Do I hear a second? Trustee Hodges.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
President Fox.
Aye.
Passes 4 and 1 absent.
And for employee evaluation, the board gave guidance and direction. Next on our agenda is adoption of the board agenda. Our motion. Trustee Hodges.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the board agenda.
Vice President Amboy.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Young is absent. Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
And President Fox.
Aye.
The motion passes 4, 1 absent.
All right, board presentations.
So item 6A, we are keeping in there as a standard item. There's no donations to report this evening. That moves us to item 6B, which is our presentation. This evening, we're going to get an update to the attendance. I'm looking for Director Kelly. Just stepped out. Okay. And good evening, student trustee. Good to see you. We are moving quickly tonight.
I see.
So welcome, Director Dr. Kelly. So you're up.
All right, okay. All right, well, good evening, President Fox, President Amboy, Dr. Superintendent Rayo, trustees on the panel, cabinet, my colleagues, and community. Tonight, I'm presenting the 2025 Fall Attendance Update. This presentation is intended to highlight the detailed report already provided to you and to serve as a follow-up to the 3-year attendance plan. As you will see, the progress that will be shared will connect directly to our district's theme for the year and the commitments we made in the 3-year plan. Our district theme for the 25-26 school year is Think VCUSD First. This is not just a tagline. It's a lens which we approach everything we do, from academics to social emotional learning, from equity to PBIS. This theme reminds us that every action should reflect our values and priorities as a district. Attendance is at the heart of that theme. If students are not present, they cannot access the high-quality instruction, the relationships, or the supports we are committed to providing. So as we move through this update, you'll see how attendance is not a separate initiative, but is directed to the expression of Think VCUSD First. Our attendance work is not separate from our academic mission. It is rooted in equity, social emotional learning, PBIS inclusion, and academics. Attendance is the starting point. If students aren't in school, they can't benefit from any of these supports. That's why attendance has been crucial and centered to the 3-year plan and remains central to this update. Here's how MTSS organizes attendance supports across the system. Tier 1 equals all students, the universal foundation for every child. Tier 2 equals Tier 1 plus Tier 2 plus support. Same universal supports plus additional data-driven interventions to support it, beginning to show students that show signs of struggle. Tier 3 equals Tier 1 plus Tier 2 and intensive support. The full foundation plus individualized intensive help for our highest needs students. The key message, Tier 2 plus Tier 3 do not replace Tier 1, they layer on. That layering is how we live the district theme, Think VCUSD First, and how our 3-year plan said we would keep students connected in class. Tier 1 means all students every day. It includes engaged in instruction, PBIS, and strong student-adult relationships. We run attendance awareness campaigns, make daily calls, and ensure students have access to health and wellness resources. Tier 1 is about creating a district-wide culture where attending school is an expectation and norm. It's the universal baseline that reflects our theme, building systems for all students first. Our campaigns are visible, and it's a visible part of Tier 1. September is National Attendance Awareness Month. November highlights literacy. February marks the first 100 days. March taps into March Madness. April honors teachers, and May honors students. These campaigns keep attendance visible all year long. Again, they are not side projects. They are tied directly to our theme and reinforce that in VCUSD, we put attendance and student success first. Tier 2 means Tier 1 plus more. These are targeted strategies for students beginning to slip into absenteeism. We add parent conferences, data monitoring, SST meetings, and referrals to services. Care teams track students closely. This shows the strength of our layered model. And it's exactly what the 3-year plan envisioned, targeted interventions that still reflect our commitment to all students first. Our child welfare and attendance liaisons are central to Tier 2. In 24-25, they made over 11,000 family contacts. And here's the key point. 71% of those families were successfully reached. That's nearly 8,000 families that had real two-way conversations with not just letters, not just automated calls, but direct engagement. These conversations led to recovery plans, referrals to services, and renewed trust in our schools. This is exactly what we committed to in a 3-year plan, expanding staffing and increasing family engagement. And it's another way we live out our theme, think VCUSD first, putting relationships and connections at the center of attendance improvement. A2A is our scaled early warning and communication tool. It sent 39,651 contacts last year. Truancy letters, 1, 2, and 3, excessive absenteeism letters, promotion letters, and conference notifications. And here's the impact. A2A prevented chronic absenteeism for 40% of our students that were contacted. Think of A2A as a system-level amplifier that complements our human outreach. It flags risk early, gets clear messages to families, and pairs with our liaisons' personal follow-up. Tier 3 means Tier 1 plus Tier 2 plus intensive support. We use home visits, intensive conferences, IEPs or 504 meetings, and specialized referrals. If a student is severely chronic, truant, or absent, chances are that student should have already been flagged by our MTSS structure. These are our most individualized supports, but even here, the foundation remains Tier 1 and Tier 2. This layered system ensures no student is left behind. We also know that main drivers for last year's absenteeisms was Mondays and Fridays, extended vacations, immigration fears, caregiver challenges, and transportation issues. The 3-year plan emphasized root cause analysis, and that's still our focus. By addressing the why behind the absences, we build real solutions instead of quick fixes. In 21-22, Vallejo chronic absenteeism was at 58.1%. By 23-24, we cut that to 35.8%, with a projection of 32% in the December report. That's a 22.3 decrease. That's the largest reduction in Northern California. This success is about a direct result of our layered MTSS system and the commitments outlined in our 3-year plan. If you look at the 23-24 school year, you'll notice a spike in absences around December. This isn't unique to us. When we review previous years, excluding the COVID years, we see the same trend. Families often take extended vacations during that time, which impacts our attendance. To address this, we added Tier 1 strategy on top of our usual A2A letters. We sent out additional messages to our families encouraging them to return to school after the holidays. At the Tier 2 level, we identified students who missed 5 or more consecutive days during the break. Our CWAs and site attendance teams personally reached out to those families, offering support such as short-term independent study. At the Tier 3, the students who needed deeper interventions, we applied individualized strategies to get them re-engaged. You can see the impact of these efforts in 24-25. That December spike dropped noticeably. However, a new spike showed up in February. This wasn't unique to Vallejo. Colleagues across the state and even nationally reported the same trend. Many of us believe it's connected to immigration-related fears affecting families during that time. So our plan is to apply the same proven formula: Tier 1 communication, Tier 2 targeted support, and Tier 3 intensive intervention. It worked for December, and we're confident that it can help address this February trend as well. This slide shows a calendar from last year. The colors give a quick snapshot. Green days are strong attendance. Yellow is average, and red highlights our lowest attendance. If you look closely at February, you'll see it lines up with the spike we saw in the previous slide. The beginning of the month is marked in red, with some of the highest absences of the entire year. In fact, February 3rd had the single highest number of absences district-wide. That was the same day as the student walkout, when many parents chose to keep their children home in protest, helping to explain that spike. If you scan the other red areas on the calendar, most of them fall on Mondays and Thursdays. To address this, we'll continue using the MTSS framework and strategies from our 3-year plan. At Tier 1, we'll send consistent messaging to all families encouraging attendance. At a Tier 2, we'll specifically identify those students who frequently miss Mondays and Fridays and provide targeted supports. This is in addition to the regular A2A letters. And through our partnership with Everyday Labs, families will now receive timely text messages. So those Mondays and Friday students will receive text messages on Sundays and on Thursdays, encouraging them to be present on Monday and Friday. Finally, for those needing more intensive help, we'll provide Tier 3 interventions to remove barriers and re-engage the students. This slide shows our attendance progress over the past 3 years. The colors help tell the story. Blue represents students with excellent attendance. Green is average. Yellow signals manageable concern. And red indicates chronic absenteeism. Our approach is layered. Students in the blue range continue to receive broad Tier 1 messaging and encouragement. The students in high green, yellow, and low red categories are CWA step in with Tier 2 strategies, personal phone calls, outreach, and home visits. Students in the mid to high red range receive Tier 3 intensive support with more individualized interventions to re-engage them. What's most important to notice in this trend year after year, the numbers are improving. We're not where we want to be yet. Chronic absenteeism in the 30s is not acceptable, but we are steadily moving in the right direction, and we are committed to continuing that progress. The next few slides will highlight progress in our schools over the past 3 years. Overall, you'll see steady improvement, though some schools have begun to plateau. This data is critical. It shows us where the greatest needs are, and it helps us to focus our attention on the schools that require more targeted support. Rather than a one-size-fits-all approach, we're customizing our MTSS strategies to meet the unique challenges for each site, ensuring every student has the right level of support to continue improving. Looking forward, attendance recovery simply means creating structured opportunities for students to make up missed instructional time. While ensuring their attendance is accurately documented, we're finalizing the identification process, attendance documentation, and instructional components, as well as the procedures that guide how recovery is implemented. We are also working closely with business services to make sure our attendance accounting practices are consistent and compliant. Some of the strategies include after-school and extended day programs, super Saturdays, flexible options like short-term and long-term independent study, and our Leadership Academy. We're also strengthening family and community partnerships to increase support for consistent attendance. For students with the most severe chronic absenteeism, we've engaged Graduation Alliance to provide intensive outreach and re-engagement. Finally, we're modernizing our communication systems, transitioning to Everyday Labs and incorporating AI tools to ensure families receive timely and personalized reminders. These adjustments, especially the new support for our most severe cases, show how we are not only addressing current challenges, but are building stronger systems moving forward. These strategies continue the commitments of a 3-year plan and align to our theme, Think VCUSD First, ensuring attendance is tied into everything that we do. In closing, this update highlights the full report you already received and serves as a follow-up to our 3-year attendance plan. By no means are we complacent. We are not happy with chronic numbers in the 30s. Our goal this year is 24%. We've reduced chronic absenteeism by more than 22% points in just 3 years. We are stabilizing trend lines and leading Northern California in improvement. And we are doing it by living our theme, think VCUSD first. Every campaign, every call, every intervention reflects that when we put students and families first, attendance improves, and with it, every measure of student success. Thank you, and I'm here for questions.
All right, I'm going to start. In the elementary school level, does every classroom in the elementary school do monthly, does the principal monthly say which grade levels have the best attendance, and they get maybe a trophy in the room or something at every elementary school?
I can't say it happens at every elementary school, but I can say that they are doing strategies at their schools to, to bring attendance awareness. But I can't speak to every single school saying that they're doing it every month.
As far as
On Monday.
competition or incentive, each school does have incentive or competition to be
Yeah.
aware of attendance at the elementary level.
Yeah, at the elementary level, they do that. I mean, when we have our campaigns, they engage in our campaigns. And they actually do certain things. Like I know at Lincoln, I look at the doors, they had campaigns on the doors, on who had the best doors with attendance. I know at Patterson, they had some kind of dance competition. I know they had the 100-day competition as well, where they had little kids walking around looking like old people. Yeah, I'm sorry. But also, I see various things, but they are advertised. You should see them on the websites. When they do them, we take pictures of them, and we put them out there on the website just to showcase some of the things that the schools are doing.
We could find out that all schools do have the competition and incentive.
Yeah, so I know that
Something's in place.
Yeah, they're doing it, and we're doing competitions with the campaigns this year. So what we're going to do is after each campaign, we're doing 10, 10, and 10. So we're going to look at how many. We're going to question 10 students, 10 staff people, and 10 families, and the best percentages is going to get rewards after each campaign.
Okay. Can you clarify, you said at the end there's a 24% goal?
Yes.
Is that on top of so you said there was 40% approval, 40% of 100%, so there's 60% room there.
What I was talking about then was the A2A. See, A2A send out letters, they send out text messages and all.
That's the 40% improvement.
Yeah, from the people that they've contacted, they were able to save 40% of what they had called a 40% save rate.
What's the 24% goal then?
Before we got into COVID, we were at 25%. So we're making it our goal to be at 24%, so we can at least say we made it, before COVID.
Okay.
And then the following year, we want to be at average, state average.
Okay. Can you go back to, please, slides? It's either on 17 or 18, the improving graph.
Okay. Tell me when to start.
Right there.
Right here, okay.
So you said there was improvement. So I'm looking at 2024, 2025, the last column. In the blue, which is tier 1, I see a little bit improvement from 9.5 to 880. Okay. The green, I see actually not improvement going the other way. The yellow, I see not improvement going the other way. The red, the intensive, tier 3, that gets all the tiers, is dropped by 6%.
No.
Am I understanding that?
No, you're not. The blue is plateauing. The green is getting better every year. So what that's saying right now is your average, students that are doing average are going better every year. And students that are going in the yellow, that's going manageable. And manageable is actually the bubble. Management is basically they can go either way, and that's the group that our CWAs work with. And so we're trying to work with those manageables so they won't go in the red. The red is what you don't want, and the red is shrinking. The yellows is getting bigger every year, and the green's getting bigger every year. Now, blue is plateauing. It is plateauing. So that's what you see. So what you're seeing is improvement every year.
By having more in the yellow and more in the green. Yes.
Yeah.
And not good to red.
You don't want red big. You want red to shrink.
Got it. And then for the independent studies, which I know we now have in place, how can we get the families just to be aware that there is a practice or there is a procedure before they leave, so that we can take advantage and recoup those unexcused absences for, if people have work to do, then they do turn it in, and it's, counted.
Well, what we did last year, we had advertisements. We put it out there and advertised. And what we did was, we actually went back the following year, and we looked at every single student that had 5 or more consecutive absences around December. We called all those people. Those 4 people back there called every single one of those families. And in addition to that, the attendance teams as well helped as well with that. And by calling all those families, when they called them, again, we had scripts, and we were working with, offering short-term independent study, or even offering other alternatives, just to help them. And then also, too, find out if there's some other issues going on with them, give them some support. And as you see in that graph, that spike went down. So we improved, from the year prior to this year, that December spike is down. So that shows that those efforts improved. The only problem is another spike emerged, and that was in February. We didn't anticipate that, so now we got to address that this year.
And I like that you said that the staff is asking the reasons for being absent, and you gave a list of them, and one of them was transportation, illness, vacation, and anyways. So we're documenting the why, and you're trying to address that why, how to get them over that barrier to get to school.
Exactly.
So I liked hearing the reasons being asked, and how can we address that?
Exactly. You remember 2 years ago, I had that 3-year plan I gave you guys, right? So what happens is, as we do our 3-year plan, we see certain things surface. And as it surfaces, then we have to adjust to it. So these are some of the things that surface that we got to adjust to. And so once we put a plan, so every year we put a plan together to adjust to those issues. And so, for example, that's why I talked about short-term independent study, but also attendance recovery. That's something that we're looking at this year. And it's something that's kind of literally statewide. There's new laws that's coming out right now regarding attendance recovery. So I've been going around talking to other districts and other colleagues, just figuring out how they're doing that and trying to implement it that way. So just some examples. And
Thank
also,
you.
too, everyday labs. I'm transitioning out of A2A into everyday labs because we have to get a little bit more aggressive in the ways that we attack our communication processes. For example, everyday labs will identify certain populations for us, and they will send specific text messages out or emails or letters.
Thank you. Trustee Hodges, I think, was next.
Your approach, like a pretty hefty effort, so I want to thank you for that, Dr. Kelly. I think it's slide 20. I want to ask you about the strategic recovery.
Which one is it?
I think it's 20.
Man, my eyes. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, the attendance recovery strategies. I have an idea what after school and extended day means. Can you give me an idea what the Super Saturday means? And does this mean that we're recovering the days of the students that have missed class?
Yes. Yeah, so for every 4 hours a student attends school, after school, or even on a Saturday, that's 1 day that they recoup.
Oh.
So other schools, Super Saturday, I stole the idea from Vacaville. So, yeah, I stole it from Vacaville. So what they do is they actually have certain things, like we may call it a college career Saturday, where we may have some conferences, and students come and go to those conferences. As long as, but what the law says, what state ed code says, as long as you're doing instruction, and as long as you have a certified teacher, you can recoup that day. And other things we're looking at too, really your bang for your buck is really the after-school care, because really you can get with the teachers to find out the exact work that they missed that day. Because that's really what you want to do. I mean, if I've missed a day and I'm already missing that instruction, it would be good for me to kind of catch that day up. So we're trying to focus a lot of it on the after-school care and, extended days. But we will utilize whatever we can utilize to get those days caught up as well.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Flores?
Just want to first thank you for all the hard work you've been doing. I know that this was a 3-year plan that we've had, and I've seen you doing the work with it. So, when I saw a 22% drop, was just like, wow, we're heading in the right direction. Some of the questions are, I think it's, right, what slide down that was, I apologize, but we're talking about the contacts, 11,313 families, contacts, 71%, roughly, you said about 8,000 odd parents or families were contacted. What about the other 3,000? Like, what happens? Is it just a continual,
Exactly.
ongoing contact, or what's preventing the contact there?
Well, if you remember my very first presentation that I made you guys, I said one of the biggest issues that we had was our truancy support systems. And one of the problems in our truancy support systems was we wasn't reaching out enough. We only, I think maybe, just me estimating, we might have had in the hundreds of contacts that we attempted. Now, for every 20 people that you contact, maybe one of them may show up for a conference, or maybe you might, and for every, say, 10 calls you make, you might have maybe 4 that may answer the phone. So the strategy is to do a lot, because you can get more bang. So the fact that we're getting the thousands now is huge, because I've been in this for 33 years, and as an administrator, I don't even recall myself being an administrator even going past the hundreds. So this is pretty huge and that's because we actually have people that's actually designated just to do that. Call people, go to their houses, set up conferences with them. That's that human contact. And that was in our root cause analysis survey, because that was one of the things the families were saying. They said they wanted empathy, and they said they wanted to have people talk to them. They want to have human touch. And remember, they was coming out of COVID, and they weren't having that. So that's one of the reasons why we employed the CWAs, so we can give them that extra human contact. But we had to go big. We can't just make 100 calls. We got to make 1,000 calls, because if you make 100 calls, you might catch 20. If we make 1,000 calls, you're going to catch more. So it's a numbers game. But to answer your question, it's just a continuous thing. If we miss them, we just got to try to catch them again. You just keep going.
Then some of the outreach is language barrier an issue for some of this outreach at all, or
Well-
do you have Spanish speaking?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When we hired our CWAs, we hired 8. 4 of those 8 spoke Spanish. 3 of them were bilingual. We have bilingual liaisons. If you look at our ASPs that we're hiring right now, we have quite a bit of them now that are bilingual. So we're making a very strategic and purposeful effort to try to touch that community, because we wanted to make sure that and also, too, in our root cause analysis survey, it wasn't even so much the language. They wanted people to be sympathetic to their culture as well, understand why I may be acting this way or doing certain things as well. So we actually had to make sure that we worked with people that actually was part of that culture as well when they talked and engaged with these families. So it's a lot of efforts that we've been making over the last 2 or 3 years. And we can do more. I always say we can do more, but yeah, I think we have been making efforts in that area.
Just for my clarity, slide 16 through 19, those colors, are they the same as slide 15 so far as satisfactory, manageable, excellent?
No.
Or are those just different years?
Those
or-
different years.
Got it.
Different years, yeah. Blue is the oldest years, and yellow is last year.
Okay, all right, thank you. Great work.
No, thank you.
Vice President Amboy, then we have Trustee De Leon and Trustee Arba. Oh, all 3? Okay, in order, okay. Well, that is Jacobo as well.
Dr. Kelly and your staff, again, thank you for all your hard work. It's been, I remember watching this come into fruition from the year one and see where it is today. It's such your efforts doesn't go unnoticed, and again, I definitely appreciate that. Just one concern that I have is more of the reporting. I know, I mean, as a parent, there are times when my kids are in school, but they've been misreported incorrectly, and sometimes, and I know that it takes a lot of time to get that fixed, from other work that they do. Is there a way, or is there anything that we can do to help improve reporting on that end. It's just, it just seems to be more, can be problematic. I mean, just giving you an example of if a child has sports and they were excused for the whole day, then, you know, I'll get a message from Parent Square saying the kid was absent for, you know, for the whole day. But it says, no, they were in school, but they were excused.
Yeah.
But again, it just seems like more double work in that
Yeah.
one sense. And is there anything that we can do to improve that reporting to be a little bit more accurate?
Well, I agree with you. I think that that's something that's unacceptable. We got to make sure we do better on that. I know that my superintendent said that we got to be accountable this year. So that means that we got to hold people accountable. That's just the reality of it, me included. And so I agree with you. I think that that needs to be dealt with. I don't really have an answer necessarily to that particular thing, but I just think that people just need to make sure they take role right and do it. Because if I'm a teacher in a classroom, I know who's in my classroom. I got to take role. So,
Right.
yeah.
But the other challenges too is when we have substitute teachers, kids get mismarked, or
Right.
they might get, because they don't necessarily know who's in the classes, they're going off lists. That can be a challenge as well.
Yeah. So but that's the only way I can answer that question.
Again, appreciate all the hard work that you and your team has done.
Yeah.
Trustee De Leon from John Finney High School.
Good evening, Dr. Kelly. My first question is, when you were talking about like the Super Saturdays and different things that you would hold, not necessarily as an intensive, but to, you know, help kids, would that still be open to all kids?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then another thing, I know you talked about a lot on supporting different problems of why we had a lot of absenteeism. But for like just this one, is there any ways in particular that you can point out right now about how we're supporting with transportation?
Well, yeah. Transportation is very expensive. It's very expensive. So I know there's certain things we've been looking at in the past. I know with our community schools, we've been looking at trying to find, shuttle services. And I think the biggest issues we have with transportation is usually with our younger grades, because even a bus, I can give a bus pass to a kid because kids can ride for free, but a kindergartner or a TK, I can't put on a bus. So it's I admit to you, that's a struggle right now that we're still trying to figure out, and we've been trying different agencies, but I got to admit to you, just one person, just getting transportation for one person is going to run you to thousands of dollars. And so that's something we're still trying to work on.
Well, because even for me, I have a bus pass, but another thing I know we had an issue with, and they actually came and talked to us at my school last year, is the locations in which the buses run and the
Yes.
times. So I live right by Hogan, and so if it's going based off of, times that Hogan gets out or a certain school, and then because I get out earlier too, there's no bus by me or that even stops by me from the times that I go to school in the morning and the times that I get out. So even when it comes to, younger kids and not having a way, even older kids don't normally, but, and then the slides for all the schools that's up right now, that's our absence.
That's the chronic numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just a percentage of students that are not coming to school.
And then for Vice President Amboy, what you were talking about the, holding people accountable and how we can change people getting marked absent and stuff, because I know it's happening to me a lot already, because I missed 2 days because I was sick. My school, I know it's smaller, so it's easier to do, but our attendance office, if we miss like a certain amount of classes or something, they, like, even when I miss school, they call our parents to ask why so that they can mark it. So like by like normally around the end of the day or towards the end of the day, they call the parents to ask why we were absent so that they make sure that they're not marking us absent or mark it excused. And like they either come to our classes or they call us to ask if we were in that period, if we're marked, because we have a lot of issues with our internet this year. So they call us from our classes or like find us around school and they ask us why or if we were in that class, and then they give us this paper to give to our teachers to mark it, and then we give it back to the attendance office.
Trustee Arbab from Jesse Bethel.
Good evening, board, Dr. Kelly, and community. Sorry that I was late. So, a couple things I want to mention. First off, I don't think I was here for it, but the whole award thing, right, for having good attendance. I think Bethel, if I remember correctly, won the March Madness one. So represent, right, Jaguar Pride. But about that, a lot of students didn't know that we won it, and I actually didn't know that we won it. So I think it's really important that for stuff like this, we promote it way more. But great job with that kind of stuff. And what Trustee Amboy said, which was really important. And funny enough, you mentioned it because today I got marked absent for the exact same thing. Because first period, we had this club council meeting that we were meant to be excused for. At the end of the day, email sent to parents, oh, your child was not there for first period. So make sure that's fixed, because that can also worry parents a lot, right, if it's consistently happening. Because I'm in tennis, right, and I wouldn't want something like that happening every single day, right, because it can worry parents like, hey, where's my child, right?
Right.
And another thing I wanted to mention, and this is a question I have for you, what are we doing about tardiness? Because obviously we can say all about absences, right? Because it impacts learning, right? But what about people who are tardy? Because it not only makes it so students miss that valuable instructor's time, but if they need to catch up, then that takes up the instructor's time and holds the whole class back.
Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah, I guess the same approach, you know, we have to find out why the student's tardy, and I guess offer the MTSS structures again to that. You know, students might be tardy because they're going through some things. I know, being a former principal, I know of some students that were tardy because they were going in bathrooms crying because they were dealing with certain things. Then I know some people that just was lazy, you know, so it's just literally just finding out I would say just finding out why they're tardy and offering whatever supports they need to make sure that they're coming to school on time.
Thank you.
Trustee Valdez Jacobo.
Good evening, Dr. Kelly and community and team, of course. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for your immense support, not just in the district, but also outside of the district. Now, my question is, in case another immigration enforcement issue happens, will there be any reassurance or support the district can or will provide for those afraid and affected? Because I do know that during the month of February and January and February, a lot of students were going absent, weren't showing up, if not a week for the whole school year. So I think it's really important that we stay prepared, especially in times like these where we know that there's more to come and it's not going to be the last time or the first time. So
Absolutely, you're correct, and that's one of the things that we are working on. I know that we're training our school sites right now about ICE, you know, and again, you know, as we make our phone calls and we reach out to our families, we try to find out why, you know, what's going on, why. And I personally understand too. I mean, ICE followed my son home from school, so I know the feeling of a father being worried. So I take that when I speak to families, you know, just being empathetic to, you know, just what they're going through and just trying to find ways to support them.
And thank you. And my last question is, so you already spoke about the after school or extended days. And I know you just said that high schoolers would also be welcome to it. Would there be any programs like those or certain activities for specifically high schoolers, and how well is it going to be promoted?
We're actually putting them together now, so I welcome any suggestions or anything, you know, that you can offer that you feel will make high schoolers want to come on a Saturday. So please, you know, let me know. But we are working on it. We are working on that.
And regarding also promoting it, Because I had no idea about these.
Well,
And
we haven't even started it yet. But we're going, I mean,
okay.
the Saturday school, we haven't started it yet, so we haven't started the promotion yet because we're getting ready to put it together.
All right. Well, yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Trustee DeLeon?
I forgot one question, but my other question was, is there any ways that you guys are looking to support kids as far as different ways for us to, because I don't know if it's every high school, but at my school, I know we have Edgenuity, so there is we can do Edgenuity online. If there were to be a situation when it comes to supporting kids and families with the ICE and when that pops up again, hopefully, God forbid, but if it does, is there any way that we would be able to support them with ways to still do their work if they were not able or were not willing at the time to come to school?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're always open to work with our families. We're always going to be open to make sure that we can support our families best we can. Now, how, I don't want to commit to any of that right now, but I can just say that we are open.
And then I remember my question now. Are you personally going to be overseeing this whole thing?
Overseeing this whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's in my department, you know, the programmatic part of it, right, Ms. Heather? The programmatic part of it, I oversee in my department, but there's other pieces of attendance as well, like the accountability, like taking roll, like you guys are talking about, and it has to be, when attendance is taken, it has to be reported a certain way so that you can get your ADA. That's in another department, but I support that as well, but I'm not over that.
So there is different parts that play and,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
I had a thought for Super Saturdays, and I think some of our trustees might like this. SAT, PSAT, and ACT prep courses on Saturdays.
I'm down. Superintendent just said it, so that's his code word saying that I got to do it. So that's probably something that was going to happen. Okay. All right, so.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for your report. and for
I
your
do want
team.
to, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I was just thanking you and your team for your report.
Yeah, but I also want to just mention, you know, I appreciate the accolades, but I want to make sure that our school sites and, you know, our supervisors and everybody has played a major part in all of this. You know, so I just want to make sure. I just represent the system when I come and report, okay? But thank you, guys.
All right, we're down now to forum interagencies. Are there any reports?
Right? Nope, doesn't look like it.
VEA.
Good evening, Board, trustees, and superintendent. I think this is day 12, which means we are balancing classes. There's not a lot on the surface to see, but underneath there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Balancing classes, making sure that everything is going to work. I really appreciate the district's team. Of all the issues that I'm bringing forward, they're being very receptive to what I'm putting in and working together to solve whatever issues are going on. So, thank you.
Thank you. CSEA.
I don't think we have a report this evening from CC.
VSMA.
I think we have one from VSMA. This
Okay,
evening.
report of district advisory committees.
No report, just an update. We are in the process of filling our seats that are open to our superintendent student advisory committee. So emails went out to the site administrators. Remember, it's secondary, high school, and some of the middle schools. And I know the student trustees are going to be supporting that effort to make sure we recruit new members to the advisory committee, and then we'll be reporting out in future meetings.
Thank you. Our next item is for community members, but before we do that, I want to make sure that we acknowledge that for any community member that engages the board with a concern, The board is not, the board will listen, but the board will not respond. It is only for listening. There'll be no response. With that, do we have any community members?
We have 3 cards for community members. The first one is Victor, and I'm sorry, I can't fully read the last name, E-D-D? Edelman, thank you. Then followed by Hazel Wilson and Nick Driver, in that order.
So I want to talk to you guys about student safety, particularly the student pickup at Wardlaw Elementary. I don't know if you're all familiar with Wardlaw Dog Park and Skate Park, but that is on a downhill slope that does have a designated turn-in lane to turn into the parking lot there. The problem is when school lets out at Wardlaw Elementary, the parents like to park in that designated turn lane. It causes an extreme safety hazard, not only for the people who want to pull in to use the park, but for the parents picking up their kids. Just yesterday, there was almost a wreck between 2 parents that had picked up their kids. Their students were in the car and almost had a wreck. I have emailed Mr. Rubin, never got a response back. I've tried calling the office, but whoever answers the phone there seems to be very rude and tells me that it's not a school issue, that it's a city issue. It's your students' safety. It is a school issue, okay? It's safety issue for those of us that use the park because we don't want to get hit by cars. Just a couple months ago, there was a teenage girl that was hit by a car, and that was even when it was busy with parents' pickups, okay? I want us to be able to come up with a solution. I mean, have someone out there monitoring, telling the parents you can't park there. I've tried doing it. They don't listen to me because I'm not officially with the school. But if you have someone that's there officially with the school between 2:15 p.m. and 3:45 p.m., that all goes away. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. We have another community member?
Hazel Wilson.
Superintendent Aurelio, President Fox, members of the board, and student representatives. The teacher store is going great, and the teacher store is a way to support attendance. Teachers get to come and shop for free for their students, to ensure that every student, that there's equity in the classroom, that every student has basic school supplies. We have backpacks, pencils, pens, just about anything that a teacher would need, and it's totally for free. We just would like to again remind the teachers that it's available. No student should have to not have or be embarrassed because they don't have. We promote equity in the classroom. I would like to thank the local chapters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, the NAACP, VEA, and of course, our biggest donor, Pitchen Foundation. So come by and visit us so that you can see what your students have available. Thank you, Kevin Steele, and all our suppliers. Thank you.
Miss Wilson, can you tell us the operating times of the store?
I'll have to let you
Okay.
know when we're going to be open because I have to check with Kevin.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
A card for community?
Nick Driver.
Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, board members Flores, Hodges, student board members. I want to congratulate the superintendent and all of you board members on the success of the beginning of the school year. It sounds like it's off to a great start. We at Griffin Technology Academies have also gotten off to a great start. We have the same schedule as you do, so we started on the same Monday a couple of weeks ago. And really happy to see all of the students come back. We actually have a few more students than last year, which is always nice to have. And I think part of that is because due to Measure S funding for our Griffin Academy project, we just put in a really great new shade structure and a lot of improvements on that campus. Welcome any board members who want to come and see that. That got done over the summer, as well as our gym, which is for all 4 of our schools. It's about to be completed, just a couple of weeks late. We will be inviting you all to a grand opening in the next couple of weeks, hopefully on September 24th, because they say it's going to be done on September 20th. So really excited that that is being complete. We think of it as an asset for North Vallejo, not just for GTA, even though we are building it. We're building it with the proviso that we open it up for community use, and we have put a schedule together with our partners, Continental Omega Boys and Girls Club. You have an agreement on your consent agenda tonight that I hope you will approve. I'm not going to speak too much of that because I don't want to speak on that item specifically. Just want to say in general, it's been a great partnership between them and us in getting to this point where they are signing it, and we will be bringing it to our board to sign next Tuesday for my signature as long as you approve it tonight. So just one way that we are hoping to bring more students back or stay in North Vallejo is this gymnasium with classrooms and this partnership with Omega Boys and Girls Club. So thank you for being open for that invitation. We'll send it out shortly as soon as we get a final date. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. Driver. Any more cards for community forum?
That's all the cards for community forum.
I'd like to first say real quick that I appreciate all 3 of you, that we like hearing from our community. We want to hear concerns. Thank you so much for the updates and what's coming. Thank you for the support to going to students. Thank you for addressing a safety issue. For information, we also have our 2x2 where we work with the city of Vallejo, that we talk about concerns that are going on within, that are their jurisdiction and the school district and how they overlap. So our next 2x2 meeting, if anyone's interested, is on September 25th. All right, with that, we'll be moving on our agenda to now student. It's at City Hall. It'll be posted. I think it's 4:30 on the 25th, 4:30. It's the main chambers, I think. Student reports. Who would like to start? Trustee Valdez Jacobo.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, I kind of have a full list. First few weeks, our school is going really well. First, I want to start off to give a special shout out to the first student athlete of the week for the school year. It is Julio Ramirez, who threw the 2 winning touchdowns for our latest game with Vallejo High School, and I'm not sure who else. But anyways, yay. And next, I also wanted to point out it is Suicide Prevention Month. I wanted to point out the importance of mental health, to always check in on our loved ones, ourselves, and those around us in our community. What else? I got a full list. So, for Vallejo High School, we are promoting conflict resolution skills and ensuring students feel safe, supported, and valued by our staff. We are also continuing to enforce the no cell phone policy. We have been going really well, just need to work on with students during break and lunch, but we're getting there. And college and career readiness, we are preparing juniors and seniors for success with the HBCU Fair at J.C. Bethel, offering on-the-spot admission and scholarship opportunities. And the VHS band was invited to perform on the street naming ceremony, honoring the Vallejo's Con Function, showcasing school pride, who we were invited by band member and VHS alumni, Michael Cooper. So thank you very much. And student voice and inclusion, we will be hosting a coffee with the principal to connect families and administration. as well as Ser Latino students representing VHS will be attending the Latina Voices Luncheon, where I will be attending, so I'll be sure to report back. And lastly, Leadership and Spirit, we will be celebrating Attendance Awareness Month, which also is September. Leadership class has a Spirit Week catered around the college and career theme. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Jesse Bethel, Mr. Arbab.
Good evening. So for Bethel, a lot of exciting news. So first off, like Sophie said, phone policy has been going great. I think there is that thing about the phones being used during break and lunch, which I don't think it's been emphasized because everyone seems to use it and nobody really gives that any attention, whether or not that's allowed or not. But during classes, there's absolutely no issue. Everyone's doing great with it. I'm seeing a lot more connecting during class, which is really good. We've recently had a lot of events in the quad to promote school pride. We've had events for students to do for freshmen to help them get used to the school. We're preparing for Club Rush next week, which if you don't know, it's a really cool event. I encourage any of you to come out, and it's going to be next week, but if you want Friday next week during lunch, come out. It's going to be an event where clubs promote their clubs with activities, get people to join, and specifically for freshmen who may not know about the clubs, they can come out and learn about them. We had standardized testing last week. All went pretty great, pretty smoothly, and specific to me, made a new club and had our first meeting today, Military History Club, and what I can say is students are super involved in leadership this year for Bethel. Everyone seems to have something that they want to have a club about or be a leader in, which is really good. So, yeah.
Thank you. Trustee De Leon.
Good evening. I took my student report today to speak on my school, but not really so much. I took today to talk about what I've been doing like at my school. For my student report, there's not much from my school I can say, but I will say that I've been advocating for my school to have more college tours and college program field trips, and for the change of John Finney's senior trip. Most schools go to places like Disneyland and Universal, while John Finney goes to Great America. Now, while there is some differences in trips, like other schools receive payments from each student in order to go and have an ASB and have sports games, snack bars, and school dances, and student stores, and other fundraisers to help cover costs, while our trip is 100% free of charge, and we don't have an ASB or all those ways of bringing in money. And while we're always extremely grateful for any senior trip, a lot of kids want an actual senior trip like the other schools, including me. So I said there has to be a way. I started by gathering facts and data on different locations, including Magic Mountain, Universal, Disneyland, and Santa Cruz. I then spoke to different VCUSD staff who helped me create a plan that I then used to speak to my principal. So I talked to my principal, and she said no. And wait, let me tell you why, though. She told me no, because we don't have the funding. So I said, I have to do something. I started going through sources, including John Garamendi, the rep for Solano County. I asked for funding and support on college tours and program field trips because I feel John Finney students deserve the same opportunities as any other students. I then reached out to different other VCUSD staff, as well as talking to my staff around the school. And so now I have plans to meet with both principals to see different ways that we can go on their senior trip. And then I talked to my principal and staff to do different college tours and different college program field trips, because I feel that not a lot of kids going to John Finney either aren't very interested in college or don't know where to go, what to do, or how to do it. And last year we had a field trip to Solano Community College, and we went to their auto Yeah, auto mechanic program. We got to go to the different we had different like things that we walked around and we sat down and we got to talk to them, and we actually had kids who ended up graduating. That field trip was in May. We had kids graduate in June, and now they're in the auto mechanic program at Solano Community. Based off the field trip, they were able to apply right there then on the spot. So I feel like it would help a lot of kids. And as for our senior trip, I'm still looking for ways, but I'm trying. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now, oh,
Once,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Assistant Superintendent Topacio wants to add something.
Hello. I just want to let you know that Ms. Whitson, Director Hines, and Dr. Kelly and I just met this past week to talk about how we make sure those opportunities are available to students at John Finney, and to kind of put together what do we have to do? One, two, how do we creatively provide opportunities where the way is not clear, right? And it's a little hard.
All right, thank you. So now we are down to our consent items, 8A through 8K. Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to approve action item, or consent items 8A through 8K.
Trustee Flores?
Actually, I wanted to discuss 8D briefly.
Which one?
8D as a dog.
D. Okay. Superintendent Topacio?
Yeah, she's.
Okay.
Do you have a motion? Do you want to amend the motion and then take 8D separately?
Or do you just want to ask your question first, or
Yeah, it's just question. We can just do the question.
Okay.
is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just in regards to the number of students participating in it, is that just determined on budget, or is that just the amount of, I'm assuming this is a senior trip?
It is, and that is an estimate based on past practice. It's the same estimate that Bethel had theirs come before you last time. It's the same trip. It's an estimate of how many kids they are likely will be able to go. The students, they do sell tickets, but no student would be prevented from going based on funding. There would be additional funds for any kid who could not have, if a family couldn't afford to send.
All I needed to hear. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Young is absent. Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
And President Fox.
Aye.
And the motion passes, 4 and 1 absent. Sorry. Trustee Jacobo is
Be right back.
absent. And Trustee Baroge.
Aye.
And Trustee De Leon.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we now are down to agenda item 9, information. I don't see anything listed.
No information this
Then
evening.
we're going to go to agenda item 10, action items. Second reading. Superintendent Topacio.
Yes, decided I'd just stay. So I am bringing back the mobile communication policy that I presented at the last meeting for second reading and adoption. This is the policy that revises 5131.8 in alignment with the Assembly Bill 3216, Phone-Free Schools Act, requiring school districts and charters to adopt policy limiting and prohibiting the use of smartphones.
Do I hear a motion? Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10A.
Trustee Flores?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Young is absent. Vice President Amboy
Aye.
and President Fox.
Aye.
Trustee Jacobo is absent. Trustee Arbab
Aye.
and Trustee De Leon.
Aye.
And the motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you. We are now down to action item 10B, Resolution 5074, Certificated Substitute Teacher Pay Increase. Superintendent Chamberlain.
Good evening, President Fox, trustees, student trustees. I'm back, round 2. It's a pleasure to be back with you tonight to discuss the importance of substitute teachers and the role that they play within the Vallejo City Unified School District. I presented to you last time that we're looking to ensure continuity of instruction, proper functioning of our classrooms and schools, minimizing the combination of classes where we can, and providing consistent, high-quality instruction for all of our students. We mentioned last time that our proposal represents all of the 4 pillars that we want to provide: a strong and equitable opportunities and outcomes for our students, safe and supportive learning environments, a vibrant culture in teaching and learning, and community-centered education. The issue is that we have a hard time attracting substitute teachers. And so to backfill the need, we have to contract out with services that are more expensive. And in an effort to make our own district substitute teacher pool more robust and competitive, we are providing different proposals for you to consider this evening regarding pay for day-to-day, long-term, and retiree substitutes. The challenge that we have is that last year we spent $1.2 million on substitutes and contracting with substitutes in services outside of our district, and we want to spend the money here with our own subs. And so Scoot and Swing have done a nice job for us, but they're expensive. And we feel we could do a better job with not only supporting our own subs, but in terms of training. A question that came up last time was, with this chart in particular, was we were comparing all of the schools within Solano County. And if you notice at the bottom, we added Napa Unified School District for comparison because they are a competitor of us as a district when we are trying to recruit subs. And so I wanted to make sure I made that clarification. So before you tonight, we have 3 options. Option A, which is our original proposal, that starts at $265 for a day-to-day sub, typically on an emergency permit, $300 for a long-term substitute, again on an emergency permit, and $335 for a retiree who still have their credential. So that's why it's a little bit higher. Option B is a $20 increase for the day-to-day substitutes, a $10 increase for long-term, and retiree stays the same. And the reason we did that was we wanted to make sure that we stayed at or close to the base teacher pay for column 1 and step 1. And then lastly, our column C option is $15 more than option B for day-to-day. We kept the long-term the same, and we kept the retiree the same. And so we're bringing back these 3 options as a consideration item for you tonight. With this, we also increased the child development sub and the adult school sub rates so that we were competitive, and we haven't raised those in a while. And so we felt it was important that we raise those options as well. The next slide, I mentioned and highlighted that Scoot and Swing are considerably more than what we are paying right now. Scoot is $465 a day, partly because they provide benefits to the subs, which we don't because the subs are not in a bargaining group unto themselves. Swing is $360, so we'll have less savings with the increase, but we feel we will see some savings with that. And we were looking somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 to $200 per day based upon the Scoot rate. And that's what our focus is on, and saving between $250,000 and $500,000 to the general fund. I also mentioned that to be a substitute teacher, and for anyone who's out there listening this evening, if you are interested in being a substitute teacher, all you need is a bachelor's degree. from a regionally accredited college, fingerprint clearance, TB clearance, and an application form and processing fee to the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, and we can sign you up right now.
No CBEST anymore?
No CBEST
Oh,
anymore.
my goodness, I had to do that on a Saturday. Sorry, anyways, continue.
Myself as well. Myself as well. So I mentioned last meeting that the path forward was we were going to have a job fair. We hired 7 teachers from that job fair, which was fantastic, as well as a number of substitute teachers. We feel we're going in the right direction. We're going to schedule more job fairs because we know there are bodies out there that want to work for Vallejo City Unified School District. And so we are excited about the opportunity and looking forward to your discussion and your motion for which option you'd like to go with.
Can I ask, well, one, I want to recap something for anyone that weren't here. We heard from a lady last time, I think it was Penny Cook, I can't remember, but she started as a substitute and was
Correct.
so happy with the district. She went to a teacher credentialing program, but started as a sub, and now she's a FTE, a full-time employee
Yes.
within our district. So that was a very, a good thing that I remember hearing last meeting. Can you go back to the comparative of the districts, please?
Sure. There you go.
Thank you. I just want to see it for a moment. So the 300 for day-to-day in the last, so the item C, the last proposed, there was column A, B, C. So for C, you had 300 was the only difference in that column for the day-to-day, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to peruse this for a second to see how that 300 represents within the rest.
Yep. And I believe the discussion from the board last time was really swinging for the fences. And so that's why we have an option here. Option C was really be swinging for the fences and going above our competitors. But we feel we can really advertise this. We feel good about going out to the community and saying, this is what we have to offer. We need you to come in and with a college degree and become a sub for us and support our community.
And we're still staying close, safe, like you said, that we're not even getting close to to infringe on a beginning year teacher.
Correct. The only difference is the retiree is $3 more than column 1, step 1, but they're credentialed already.
And they've been working for many, many, many
Correct.
years and have experience.
Yes.
Okay. I see a light on Trustee Hodges.
I'm ready to make a motion.
You have to state either A, B, or C in your motion, please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10B, option 3.
Oh, is it 1, 2, 3? I can't remember. Is it A, B, C? or-
ABC.
Sorry,
I can number them whatever way you want. It's fine.
Trustee
option
Ho-
C.
You want option C, Trustee Hodges?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have a motion for option C. Do I hear a second? Trustee Flores? Second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young is absent. Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Jacobo?
Aye.
Trustee Arbab?
Aye.
And Trustee De Leon?
Aye.
The motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that down, we are on agenda item 11, report. Superintendent Aurelio.
Good evening, everyone. So I'd like to provide just an update on our enrollment as we begin the 2025-2026 school year. So I'm pleased to share that our early enrollment numbers are showing us above projections for this year. The last time we checked numbers, it was roughly about 400 students over our projected numbers, which is tremendous, which is good to hear because that means we are doing the right things and we're keeping our families here. That whole, think VCUSD first. That's what we want, to ensure our families recognize the value of keeping their students in Vallejo schools. Earlier in this meeting, we heard from Dr. Edison Kelly, our Director of Student Support Services, regarding our 3-year attendance improvement efforts. I want to again remind our community that student attendance is foundational to everything we do. Each and every day that a student attends school not only supports their learning and growth, but also directly impacts the resources available to serve all our students. We've mentioned before that every single percentage point of increased daily attendance translates into meaningful additional funding for our schools. So funding that we desperately need as we face continued fiscal challenges. I'm glad that we're shooting for 24%. I'd love always to see it lower, for chronic absenteeism, but that would get us below or at the level we were before the pandemic. So that's super exciting to have that as a target. As you are aware, we are in the midst of phase 2 of closure and consolidation process with decisions to be made that will impact the 2026-2027 school year. These are difficult but necessary steps to right-size the district and ensure long-term stability. At the same time, we know that improving attendance, strengthening instructional practices, and investing in the systems that improve student outcomes are just as critical to the health of our district as fiscal adjustments. Our ultimate goal remains clear: to provide every student in VCUSD with a high-quality education supported by outstanding educators in every classroom. Finally, I want to invite our community to participate in the first of 3 upcoming town hall sessions regarding school closures and consolidations. The first will take place next week, September 10th, at Jesse Bethel High School's Little Theater. The start time is 6 p.m. This will be an important opportunity for families and community members, especially those connected to schools identified for potential closure or consolidation, to hear directly from staff and to ask questions. As we move forward together, I encourage us all to keep students at the center of every decision we make, to continue thinking VCUSD first, and to remain relentless in ensuring our students are present, engaged, and thriving each day. That is my report.
Thank you, Aurelio. Down to board members. Trustee Hodges, would you like to start?
The only thing I have to report today is I'm still getting positive feedback from Lucas, my neighbor that first started school. He's attending Wardlaw, though, so he really likes it. I've got some other positive feedback from some parents of students at Federal Terrace. So I intend to start visiting some of the schools here pretty soon.
Thank you. Trustee Flores.
I have no report.
Vice President Amboy.
First of all, I wanted to thank the entire VCUSD for your support in the last 6 months. Excuse me if I do tear up a little bit, but during the last meeting, my family did watch the meeting on TV and on YouTube, and Superintendent Aurelio, when you mentioned my father, my mother was choked up and just brought tears to my eyes. And again, on behalf of my family, do wanted to thank you, and thank you all for your support. And also, it's been very difficult in the last, but I just know that things are better. Things to look forward to. Your compassion, your love, and your support means so much to me and to my family, and there are not enough words to thank you all. But we appreciate, my family appreciates you, and know that my father is in a better place. So. Again, thank you, and it's just been very trying. But again, I just can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Vice President Amboy. Our thoughts have been with you, and we've seen how much you've been traveling back and forth, and as a father, as a son, as a community member, as a trustee, as a worker. You've juggled so many things, and we want to make sure your well-being, and just that we're all family and we're all Vallejo. We're glad you're here. All right. With that, I don't really have much of a report either. So let's go on to our next item. For community forum, if needed, no. Closed session, no. Announcement of upcoming meetings, we have a lot.
We definitely have 3 coming up. I mentioned the town hall next week on September 10th, 6 p.m. at Jesse Bethel. Then that
in
is
the theater.
In the small theater, yes. We also have then our following regular board meeting, which will be here on the 17th. Just to forecast for the community, that is the evening where we will receive the equity impact analysis report, which will be the first draft of the report. So the board will receive that that evening, and then we have our first sort of restart of the VCUSD City of Vallejo 2x2 committee meeting towards the end of the month at September 25th, and that's at 4:30 at the Vallejo City Council chambers.
With that, let's see, future board agenda items. Any requests at this time? Hodges?
Yeah, the 2x2 meeting, that's not on the calendar. You said the 25th, right?
September 25th, Thursday at 4:30. The last one.
On the agenda, but on your Google Calendar, we can add it to we can send invites.
Please and thank you.
Okay.
And student trust, that'd be your first 2x2. It's at City Hall in the main chambers. And I think you'll be up front on the, anyways, we'll show you.
Yeah.
But exciting, your first, and the city. Trustee Jacobo?
Oh, sorry. Could I get a date and time or?
September. Yeah.
Thursday, September 25th at 4:30 at City Hall, the main chambers.
And we're going to send some invites so you have it. Now, Trustee Valdez Jacobo, that might interfere with your cheerleading practice. That Thursdays? No?
Yes, but it already interfered. Wait, how do you know I'm doing cheer?
I'll just let you know, I know a lot of things about the
Hey,
students
that's
in this
good.
district.
It not only interferes with my cheer, but also my wrestling practices. But, of course, this is something I am giving my all to. So, of course, I will be there. I could always be absent for a day. Also, sorry. Go ahead.
Going back to your report, how do you not know the team you played against last week?
Oh, we didn't cheer that game.
Oh, okay.
No, we just, I know. See, it's because we just, we won. So it's like, that's kind of, but, yes, it was Highland. Thank you. And
I wanted to say also that Mayor Source is excited about having you three and your voice. She actually talked about having more hearing from our students and their voice and how we can all work together to improve the city at whole. So I know she's also excited about your first meeting coming up as well. Trustee DeLeon, did you have something?
I love Mayor Source. We met her a time or two. Our youth delegate, and she was at my school last year.
Yes.
But that was not my question. I mean, not my. I talked to you about. Maybe I should ask you after the meeting. Never mind.
Okay.
You don't have a question.
wait, isn't these reports, can't you are these reports?
It's supposed to be theirs.
Could I say something
Remember, you had your report.
really quick? Just kind of.
Go ahead.
Just kind of promoting again with the ceremony for the confunction. It will be this Saturday, September 6th. They know about it. Confunction. They will be it will be happening at the waterfront this Saturday from 10 to 12. So show your support. Thank you. That was it.
I actually got a message to promote something through the meeting. There's a Vallejo Citywide Alumni Day that I'm supposed to be. You got the message too. I have hands down. It's Vallejo versus Bethel High's football, with halftime alumni competitions like relay races, tug of war, stuff like that from Hogan, Jesse Bethel, Peoples and John Finney, St. Patrick, St. Vincent's, and Vallejo High. The JV games at 11:30 a.m. and the varsity games at 2 p.m. That's October 4th. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. With that, anything else for the good of the order? We're good. All right, thank you, everyone. We are adjourned at